Of course, there are several shows that are severely heartbreaking, but Chicago Fire is simply on another level. It's as if the creators of the show intentionally want the viewers to cry continuously. Scenes like the death of Otis are sure to make viewers cry. What are these Chicago Fire episodes that broke our hearts? Also, what are the most heartbreaking scenes in Chicago Fire according to Redditors? Keep watching to find out. Firstly, 5 of the most emotional scenes of Chicago Fire according to Reddit. First on the list is when Chicago showed up for each other in episode 13 of season 8. Sylvie and Matt continue to act in accordance with their Enneagram types in season 8 and offer consolation to a man they assisted on a call who lost his wife in a fire. Using the phrase, "This is why we should cherish our grandparents," a Redditor posted the scene. The scene turns heartbreaking when the man sees how many people have come to honor a woman they didn't even know. Additionally, it demonstrates that despite Chicago's negative reputation, its residents are responsive to community needs. Next is when Casey loses Hallie in season 1, episode 22. The first season of Chicago Fire featured the death of Casey's fiancée, Hallie. One of the many catastrophes Casey would experience was her death. A Reddit user stated that they detested hearing things like, "Now, Hallie, the barrier is gone, and Dossie can finally get together." They stated that they truly wished Hallie had more opportunities to grow as a character. Despite Hallie's brief appearance on the show, viewers loved seeing her and Casey together, and how someone not affiliated with the fire department would handle dating a firefighter. Next is Casey's departure in episode 5 of season 10. Fans were stunned to learn that Jesse Spencer would be departing the television program, and they buckled up for the upcoming goodbye episode. Thankfully, Spencer did not die on the program. Instead, he assisted a fellow firefighter's family. A Reddit user stated that they know it's been mentioned before, but they miss Casey so much. As Kara Kilmer put it, "We'll never be the same," and she's correct. As the protagonist of numerous storylines, Spencer's exit from the show signals the end of an era for the program. Fourth on the list is when Severide protects a detective's child in season 4, episode 20. The crew needs to conceal the death of Kelly's detective buddy from her small son. Nobody in the firehouse can keep a dry eye when they announce the news. A Redditor commented that they don't often cry during movies or TV episodes, but this one made them cry, and an amazing performer plays that detective, Holloway's son, JJ. The youngster in the scene conveys the anguish of losing a parent just right. When Pouch, the firehouse dog, leaves with JJ, the scenario reaches an emotional peak. A young child crying is never pleasant to witness. Lastly, Anna and Kelly say goodbye in episode 20 of season 5. Before they had a genuine chance, Anna and Kelly, who were quickly becoming one of the show's top couples, unfortunately split up due to death. A Reddit user stated that they believed the acting really captivated them. They also stated that Taylor Kinney's excellent performance in this episode really moved them to tears, particularly with the elderly lady at the conclusion. This sequence revealed a side of Severide that viewers had not seen in a long time, making the loss all the more tragic. Chicago Fire episodes that broke viewers' hearts. First on this list is episode 19, season 1. Viewers were moved to tears within the first 5 minutes of this season 1 episode. While playing with his sibling, a young boy fell into a laundry chute and became trapped inside, ultimately dying from his injuries. Even more tragically, the boy's mother visited the fire station to deliver a picture she claimed her son would have wanted them to have. The image was of her son, who aspired to be a firefighter when he grew up, dressed like one. There wasn't a dry eye towards the end of the program, as everyone from Firehouse 51 lined the sidewalk in the boy's honor. Next is episode 22 of the first season. Before Gabby, played by Monica Raymond, and Casey, played by Jesse Spencer, there was Hallie and Casey. Although Hallie, played by Terry Carrie Reeves, only featured for one season, it didn't make it any easier to watch her pass away. This episode is difficult to watch without crying. From Casey's obvious misery as he begs the patient to breathe to his breakdown in the doctor's arms after the worst case scenario is proven, what little mental stability you may have had vanished almost certainly when Mills approached them, and Casey just clung to him, while the rest of the team stood inconsolable. Thirdly, we have episode 6 of season 7. Despite not being a regular during his time on the show, Treat Williams' Benny Severide quickly rose to prominence. As a result, Kelly, played by Taylor Kinney, and the audience were completely taken aback when they learned he had suffered a stroke. Sadly, Benny passed away before Kelly could visit him in the hospital. Kelly acknowledged that the last thing he told Bowden, Eamon Walker, was that Bowden was a better father than he was. Bowden informs him that Kelly was devastated as a result of Benny's assistance in persuading the commissioner to back off the firehouse. It was horrible to witness Kelly sob over his regret and sorrow. Next, we have episode 4 of season 4. There were several extremely moving scenes in this season 4 episode. This was packed with emotional events, including Gabby's near-death experience and the loss of her and Casey's unborn child. Will Halstead of Chicago Med, the medical drama of the One Chicago universe, was there to see Gabby through the procedure when she was rushed in for surgery to save her life. This episode was difficult to watch without feeling complete grief for the couple because it so perfectly captured the pain of losing a child and showed Gabby's denial after finding out about the baby. Fifth on the list is episode 10 of season 5. Casey and Gabby had another loss after losing their child the year prior when they had to say goodbye to Louie, the young boy for whom they had been granted foster rights at the conclusion of season 4. It was heartbreaking to see the parents dealing with the death of a second child. Saying farewell to Louie was incredibly difficult, given everything they had already gone through, especially for Gabby, who had difficulty adjusting to their new circumstances. Now, let's move into the second half of this list. Next is episode 1 of season 3. The whereabouts and state of each person inside the structure were unclear in the explosive cliffhanger that was the season 2 finale. Chief Bowden could reach no one on the radio while he was outside. Thus, it was unknown if anyone was hurt. The majority of the blast fell on Shay. The first 5 minutes of this episode were enough to make you cry for the rest of it, from Severide giving CPR to Casey, Mouch, Herman, and Cruz pushing him and Gabby out of the way to get her out. As a result of Gabby's remorse and the thrown-in flashback, this episode never stopped flinging sadness around. R.I.P. to Leslie Shea. The seventh on the list is episode 22 of season 5. Where in this episode wasn't there emotional devastation? Which section of this one stung the most is difficult to pinpoint. However, losing Casey, Herman, and Mouch all at once was far more terrifying. The cruelest cliffhanger on the show may have been how the episode concluded. This wasn't an easy watch, with the majority of the team stuck inside a blazing warehouse with no way out. Mouch had a heart attack, and Casey shattering everyone's hearts by bidding goodbye to Gabby over the radio. And the painful 4-month wait to learn who had survived or perished just made it worse. Next is episode 20 of season 5. Kelly had a number of romances throughout the seasons, from Erin Lindsay, played by Sophia Bush, to Renee Royce, played by Sarah Shahi, but nothing compared to the relationship he had with Anna Turner, played by Charlotte Sullivan. Despite barely appearing in 10 episodes through season 5, Anna left a heartbreakingly profound impression on Severide and the viewers. There was a particular connection between them from the first second they met. What began as a donor-recipient relationship developed into a lovely attachment that tragically ended quickly. In their brief time together, these two shared so many heartwarming moments. But watching Kelly sob in her father's arms as she tragically passed away from cancer in this episode was heartbreaking. Ninth on the list is episode 10 of the 4th season. The Chicago Fire family's heartbeat is Christopher Herman. During the past 10 years, he has served as everyone in the One Chicago universe's counselor, father figure, and shoulder to cry on. Therefore, it was terrible to imagine losing him when Freddy stabbed him halfway through season 4. Herman experienced numerous issues after being sent to the hospital in a hurry. His Firehouse family nearly lost him when he went into hypovolemic shock and had to be rushed into surgery to control the bleeding. The touching exchange between Herman and Cruz was the cherry on top of breaking your heart, even worse than the already difficult situation of Herman. Lastly, we have episode 1 of season 8. It's safe to say that the season 8 premiere didn't hold back and included one of the One Chicago franchise's most emotionally wrenching deaths. It took a cherished Firehouse 51 employee and a piece of everyone's heart. Cruz discovers Otis, who was severely hurt among the debris after the dramatic events of Fire's season 7 finale. Before he tragically died, leaving fans in pieces, Otis spoke to Joe in Russian as he awoke at Med. The episode came to a close with Bowden showing Cruz an Otis memorial and translating his dying words. We were there sobbing alongside the squad as Cruz broke down in front of his memorial and knelt with him. That brings us to the end of this video. There are certainly other heartbreaking scenes that were not listed today. Which of the scenes in the Chicago Fire was most heartbreaking for you? Let us know in the comment section. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.